Welcome to another edition of Faith Boost Devotional. And this devotion, I want to share with you some key things that I learned from the life of David. In 1 Samuel chapter 27, I read in the book the whole end of from chapter 27 all the way to the 31st chapter. That's the last chapter. And this is a turbulence time in the life of David. David has been anointed by Samuel, a genuine man of God. And in between, out of nothing, nowhere, David became the most haunted man, the most wanted man in the land of Israel by the king himself, by King Saul himself. David didn't do anything wrong. David did not do anything wrong. Mind you, he's a young man. He's in his 20s now, I believe, because the whole ordeal took about 13 years before David eventually went on the throne. But in between now, this guy has been anointed. This guy has done everything you can say, check off the book. He did everything absolutely right. He's the whatever the king has asked him to do, he has done it. Now let's take a look. Don't take my word for it. In the book of 1 Samuel chapter 27, I'm reading from verse 1. It says, and David said in his heart, now I shall perish someday by the hand of Saul. There is nothing better for me to do than that I should speedily escape to the land of the Philistines. And Saul will despair of me to seek me anymore in any part of Israel, so I shall escape out of his hand. Now, this is David now. Okay. I'm reading. David arose and went over with the 600. Pay attention. 600 men who were with him to Achish, the son of Moach, king of Gath. So David dwelt with Achish at Gath, he and his men, each man with his household, and David with his two wives, Ahinoam the Jezreelite, and Abigail the Carmelite, Nabal's widow. And it was told Saul that David had fled to Gath, so he sought him no more. This David now, a young man at this point, still under 30, David did not do anything to King Saul. David has been anointed. David did not sought for any form of fame or position. No, the Lord sought him. The Lord sent the right prophet, authentic prophet, to go and anoint David. And David became the most wanted man in Israel by the king himself. There was no way he could hide. Even though he has proved to the king that he's loyal, the king took his wife, his first wife, that's Micah, and gave to another person. The king wants to kill him. It was because of his relationship with Jonathan that he was able even to escape. So now, what do we hear here? David did not say, God, why are you doing this? Why you anointed me? Why did you is this what you just anointed me for? That the kings want my head on a platter. But you see, David, in that moment, in that situation, what did David do? David said, okay, the right step to take for this moment is just to leave Israel altogether. David didn't complain. He left. That was the safest thing for David to do. The thing that really struck me is not that David did not complain to God. David, even in his own pain, in all the chaos, on the injustice, and all the situations, the pressure, everything that was going on, you know what? David was still leading. The Bible says David has 600 men, excluding their wives and children. And the Bible says each of them have their own household. Yet David did not give up on the leadership. David did not give up on catering for these people. He moved with them. He led them to the Philistine, and they settled there, and he had a good relationship with the king of Gath that gave them some space to settle. You know, many times we think that because God has anointed us, because God has spoken some things about us, so we are exempted from, hardship and situations that will make us uncomfortable. And one of the things I really got is that we don't stop the assignment that God has given to us when we're going through. These 600 men, as you study, you see that David developed these people. He did, he could have make up a excuse. You know what? You guys go to your homes, go back to your tribes, go wherever they came from, right? You can just dismiss them. Just go. Let me sort myself out. Was that what David do? No, David didn't do that. David didn't do that. David, I believe, perceived they have tomorrow together. They have tomorrow. Their tomorrow is joint. They have divine linkage, right? These men will become the people that he walk with. But if he has just like let the situation swallow him up, so if he had let the situation swallow him up or feeling sorry for himself, right? I don't know what would have happened to these people. I don't know what, because in the future, David and these people have worked together, and you see there were some, and I believe he wasn't just doing that but he was very intentional in pursuing destiny. At this point, it was just safe for him to leave the land of Israel, the land he has been anointed king. So what I wrote down in my note here is never let situations of life deter you from pursuing and following God. David never stopped following God. He didn't. So another thing is that don't diminish your leadership role due to personal challenges. Don't diminish your leadership role due to personal challenges. So the next thing I wrote here is, regardless of what you are going through, someone is looking up to you. Someone is watching you. Someone is looking up to you and, counting on you and relying on you as their inspiration. So dust yourself up. Dust yourself up like David. David, the next thing I wrote here was, David was true and, upright. David was truly an upright man. He had opportunity to kill the king, but he said, no, I will not kill the king. He's the Lord's anointed. David was truly God-fearing, right? David did not kill the king. David did not bemoan. We didn't see him feeling sorry for himself. David did not feel sorry for himself. David did not blame God. David, did not blame Samuel either. He didn't question if Samuel was a genuine man of God. Was this anointing true? Was this, the Lord did God set me up? No, we didn't see him complaining. He just said, let me just, in this season, just this moment, this situation, the solution to it is for me just to leave Israel. And the Philistines, they are the enemies of Israel. David went into the camp of the enemy. And, we saw as we continue, right? He went through a lot of things. But the thing that he still have other people in mind. He didn't let his circumstance consume him. I said that we should maintain, you and I, even when people wrong us, when we do things, maintain a pure and kind heart, even towards those who have wronged you and will wrong you. David maintained a pure heart and a kind heart. He wasn't vindictive. He didn't say, let me go and avenge myself. What I got from it lastly is because David trusted God so much. He knew that God will see him through. He doesn't know when it will stop or how long it will take. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding.